I remember the exact moment I knew my marriage was over. It wasn't a dramatic fight or an affair. It was a cold Tuesday night in March, right here in Fort Worth. We were sitting on the couch watching some cooking show she liked, Chopped or Beat Bobby Flay, something like that. I had just come home after a long day working under a diesel truck. My boots were stained with oil, my shirt smelled like grease and sweat. All I wanted was a little closeness, not sex, just a simple touch. A hand on mine, a smile, anything that said, "I still see you." So I moved closer, gently resting my arm behind her on the couch. And she went stiff, like a board. Without even looking at me, she said, "Josh, don't." I pulled my hand back like I'd been burned. I didn't say anything at first. I just stared at the TV while my heart pounded in my chest. Then I asked softly, "Don't what?" Still not looking at me, she shrugged. "Don't start that. The touching. I'm not in the mood." Truth is, I wasn't in the mood either. I wasn't trying to start anything. I just wanted to feel like her husband for 1 second. And that's when it hit me. I was married to a woman who didn't want me to touch her. Not to kiss her, not to hug her, not even to sit near her. I was just a warm body in her house, the guy who paid the rent, took out the trash, fixed the sink. And apparently, asking to rest my hand on her shoulder after 10 hours of work was asking too much. The silence between us wasn't peaceful. It was loud, deafening. In that moment, I could hear every crack in the foundation of our marriage. And the worst part? She didn't even think it was a problem. She didn't flinch. She didn't apologize. She just kept watching TV as if she hadn't just punched me in the chest with her indifference. Let me rewind a bit. I'm Josh Turner, 35 years old. I run a mobile mechanic service here in Tarrant County. I drive around fixing people's cars' engines, brakes, alternators, whatever's broken. I used to come home to a woman who'd greet me with a kiss at the door, ask about my day, laugh at my stupid jokes. Her name's Rachel. She's 33, a nurse who works nights at Methodist Mansfield. When we first got together, she was fire. Smart, sarcastic, gorgeous. We met at a 4th of July barbecue 10 years ago. I had a busted F-150 and big dreams. She said she liked that I worked with my hands, that it was grounded, that it was hot. Back then, we couldn't keep our hands off each other. Now, we don't even hold hands in public. And it's not because we're busy or tired. It's because she doesn't want to.
If you think I'm exaggerating, let me tell you something that sounds small but cut deeper than any knife. One night, I leaned in to kiss her goodnight, just a soft peck on the cheek. Nothing more. And she wiped it off. She didn't even realize she did it. It was a reflex. But man, it crushed me.
That's when I stopped trying. I started paying attention. You know how men are, we don't always cry or shout. We notice. Quietly. Patiently. And the pattern became clear. Her phone was always face down. She stopped wearing jeans and makeup at home. It was all baggy hoodies and sweatpants. No more date nights. No more good morning kisses. Even on holidays, she avoided closeness. At Thanksgiving, I put my hand on her back during dinner, and she flinched right in front of her dad. He saw it, gave me this awkward, half-sympathetic look like, "Sorry, man." I stopped bringing up intimacy. And I don't just mean sex. I mean emotional intimacy. Sitting close on the couch. Eating dinner together. Sharing things. Laughing. That stuff matters. And it was gone. I tried talking about it once. Sat her down in the kitchen on a Saturday morning and said, "Rachel, I feel like we're roommates." She was scrolling on her phone, sipping coffee. She looked up for half a second and said, "You're overthinking. Don't be so needy." Needy? I fix cars in the blazing sun all day. I carry the financial weight of this house. I paid for her second nursing certification. I do the yard work, pay the bills, and she thinks wanting a kiss makes me needy? I didn't yell. I didn't slam anything. I just nodded and walked away. That's when I knew this wasn't a rough patch. She had checked out. And she never told me. She didn't want out of the marriage. She just wanted the benefits, without having to give love, affection, or respect in return. What made it worse? She still expected me to act like a husband while she stopped being a wife. Rent's due? I pay it. Gas tank empty? I fill it. Groceries? I buy them. Her car needs new brakes? I install them for free, all while sleeping next to a woman who wouldn't even lean her head on my shoulder during a movie. You ever lie next to someone in bed, 2 inches away, and feel 1,000 miles apart? It's not the silence that hurts. It's the absence. I waited. I hoped. Maybe it was stress. Maybe she'd come around. Maybe she'd remember who I was to her. But no. Weeks turned into months. Her affection dried up like a creek bed in August. And that Tuesday night on the couch, that don't, without even turning her head, that was the final straw. I saw it clearly. I wasn't her husband. I was the guy who paid the bills while she checked out emotionally and expected me not to notice. So I made a quiet decision that night. If love was off the table, so was everything else. The day I decided to stop funding my own humiliation started with a simple question. Did you get the groceries today? Rachel didn't look up from her phone. She just mumbled, "No, I didn't have time." You could have stopped after work. Let me explain something. That day, I'd been under a Chevy Suburban in 91-degree heat. Sweat dripping, fighting rusted bolts in some driveway in Crawley. No lunch. No cold drink until 4 p.m. My shirt was soaked, my knuckles bleeding. But I came home like always, expecting basic cooperation. Not love. Not affection. Just a stopped fridge like we'd talked about. But no. She had the day off and did nothing. No groceries. No laundry. Didn't even clean up the Sonnet cup she left on the counter. And something snapped in me. Not anger, clarity. You know what it's like to give everything to a marriage and get less back every year? It's like being the only one rowing a boat while the other person punches holes in it. I looked at her fluffy socks, oversized hoodie, sipping iced coffee, scrolling through TikTok videos of happy couples while her own marriage rusted away in the driveway. And I said, calm and cold, you don't want to kiss me. You don't want to hug me. You don't even look at me like a husband anymore. So why am I paying for your life? She blinked. Excuse me, I'm not your husband. I'm your ATM. Your handyman. Your valet. You don't love me. You don't respect me. But you expect me to carry you like we're still a team. She scoffed. You're being dramatic. No, I said. I'm being honest. From now on, you get exactly what you give. I turned, walked to my office, and opened every shared account. Canceled her card. Removed my name from her phone plan. Revoked her access to the gas card. Deleted her from the Kroger account. I even canceled the streaming services. If she didn't want to be in this relationship, she didn't get the luxuries that came with it. This wasn't petty. It was overdue. She wanted independence? She got it. Most people think revenge has to be loud, an explosion. But real revenge is silence and subtraction. Subtract the money. Subtract the comfort. Subtract the man she thought would always stay. That night, she came into the bedroom after ignoring me for 2 hours. So you're cutting me off, she said, arms crossed. No, I replied. I'm matching your energy. You cut me off emotionally months ago. I'm just following your lead. Her voice cracked. This isn't fair. Neither is living with someone who withholds affection, but expects unconditional support. This isn't a marriage anymore. It's a business deal. And sweetheart, the contract's broken. I didn't sleep in that bed. I took a pillow and crashed on the couch. She didn't follow. Didn't say goodnight. The next morning, something had shifted. She came into the kitchen while I was packing my lunch. She opened the fridge, nothing inside for her. I poured my coffee. She opened the pantry, empty on her side. I'd moved my snacks, my cereal, my protein bars into a bin labeled Josh, like we were college roommates. She stood there holding the pantry door, quiet. So this is how it's gonna be? I shrugged. You said no touching, no kissing, no hugging. I figured that meant no more US. And if there's no us, there's no groceries, no gas, no rent from me. I'm not subsidizing emotional abandonment. She didn't say anything, just walked off. That day, for the first time in years, I felt like I had control again. Not over her, over myself. Over the next few days, she grew tense. Her card got declined at the gas station. She texted me, I left it on read. She asked if I wanted to get groceries together like we used to. I said I'd already shopped for myself. She tried small talk in the evenings. I answered politely but detached, never cold, never cruel, just done. And that's when she started realizing what she'd lost. Not the money or the convenience. The man who'd been patient, giving, loyal, even when he was empty inside. Now I was just a ghost in her house. Present, but unreachable. She put on makeup one day before I came home, the lipstick I used to love. She cooked dinner, set a plate for me. I thanked her and didn't touch it. That night, she knocked on my office door, something she hadn't done in years. "Josh, can we talk?" I looked at her, really looked, and I saw fear in her eyes. Not because I was angry, but because I wasn't. I wasn't hoping. I wasn't trying. I wasn't begging for scraps of affection. And that scared her more than any argument ever could. "Sure," I said. "We can talk. But only if it's a real conversation, not a performance. I'm done being the only one hurting." You know what's worse than heartbreak? Realizing you meant nothing to someone you gave everything to. That's the part people don't talk about. That slow, aching realization that while you were out there killing yourself to provide, to stay loyal, to be a good man, she was clocking out of the relationship every day like it was a part-time job she secretly hated.
After I cut Rachel off financially, emotionally, physically, she thought it was a phase. She thought I'd crack. That I'd come crawling back, begging for affection like a stray dog waiting for scraps. But what she didn't understand is this. When a man reaches a certain level of silence, it's already over. Not loud, not explosive, just gone. The night I left was calm. No yelling, no threats, no tears. I packed 2 duffel bags, threw my tools in the truck, and left the keys on the counter next to a note. "You said no love. I'm just respecting your rules." I moved into a small apartment in Weatherford, a 1-bedroom above a family-owned butcher shop on Fort Worth Highway. The place smelled like smoked meat on Thursdays, and the water heater was touchy. But for the first time in years, I felt free. No passive-aggressive silences. No emotional games. No more feeling like a ghost in my own home. I had peace, and I protected it like gold. People think men fall apart after separation, that we spiral, drink, chase younger women, cry in empty beds. Some guys do, but I didn't. Instead, I built. I put every ounce of energy I used to waste begging for Rachel's love into me. I started waking up at 5 a.m., hit the gym before work. I'd neglected my health for years, too busy grinding to notice the gut I'd grown or the circles under my eyes. But now I had time. I had focus. I upgraded my business, bought better tools, wrapped the truck in custom branding, built a website, started getting calls from Granbury, Aledo, Benbrook. Business was booming. For the first time in years, people saw me. Customers complimented my work. Friends texted again. Even Marcella, the waitress at the little Mexican place down the street, started remembering my name and asking about my day. Meanwhile, Rachel was unraveling. The first 2 weeks after I left, she went quiet. No texts, no calls. I think she still thought I'd come back. Week 3, she started poking. "Hey, hope you're okay." No reply. Week 4, "Can we talk?" "I've been thinking." Left on read. Then came the guilt. "You just abandoned me. After everything, you're acting like I'm a monster." I didn't respond. Not to hurt her, but because she didn't get any more of me. And that's what hit her hardest. She couldn't handle that I was no longer available, that the man who used to beg for her touch, who folded himself in half to make her comfortable, was now unreachable. Then one day, I got a text from Derek, a mutual friend who worked with her at the hospital. "Bro, your ex is falling apart at work. Looks rough. You good?" I didn't ask for details. Didn't need to. When you build a life on someone else's loyalty and take it for granted, when that loyalty walks away, you're forced to face your own reflection. And for Rachel, that mirror shattered fast. I heard she was behind on rent. Her car registration expired. She even called my old mechanic buddy asking if I'd still fix her brakes for free. I told him to tell her I'd charge full price for strangers. And that's what she had become, a stranger. One night, I was sitting on the tailgate of my truck after a long job, sipping a beer, watching the sun set over Lake Weatherford, when I got her last message.
I miss the way you used to love me. I didn't know how good I had it. And that's when I knew I'd won. Not because she was suffering, but because I no longer needed her to admit she was wrong. I had built a life beyond her, one with peace, purpose, and self-respect. A life where I wasn't giving more than I received, where I wasn't walking on eggshells in my own damn house. Eventually, I went out with Marcella, the waitress from the taco place. Sweet, funny, no drama. On our first date, we walked barefoot along the Trinity River trails, and she held my hand like it meant something. It wasn't about replacing Rachel. It was about remembering who I was before her coldness made me forget. So if you're a man reading this, carrying your whole marriage on your back while getting crumbs in return, let me tell you something nobody told me. You don't have to scream to be heard. Just leave quietly with dignity. Let them feel the silence they created. Rachel told me, no kissing, no hugging, no touching. So I told her, no rent, no gas, no groceries. But the real message was this: no love, no me. And that's how I got my life back.